land, you can buy it, sell it, trade it, whatever, make it's equitable title. But the county recorder holds, they have control of the land because here's the way it happened. The United States has patented all of the land in the United States. The US of A Corporation, through the Bureau of Land Management, has patented every parcel of land in the United States. They have land patents, and they hold the land patent. And what does that do? That get the land patent, the county recorder then basically puts your property on the tax assessor's list. Now, if you were to update the land patent in your name, then you would become the king of that land, and you wouldn't be under the lordship of anybody. You would be the lord of that land, and you don't have to pay taxes. You could go and, pay for whatever services you wanted on that land, like police and fire department and stuff like that. But most people on earth do not understand how to control their land. Remember, Rockefeller, I think it was, said, own nothing, control everything. If you don't have a allodial title to your land by updating the land patent in your name and removing it from the county assessor's list, then you don't have any control over your land. And you went and you were like, well, who does control my land? And they thought, if we tell him what really is going on, let's just get rid of this guy, do what he wants, because we're making money off of everybody else. Let's just get this guy out of our courtroom because we don't need him revealing the fact that there's a big conspiracy to control all of the land, tax people, and then boot them out if they're not willing to pay.
Well, am I right, Michael, that everybody on that mortgage was paid off in full?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, those mortgages are pieces of paper that get shuttled around very quickly and are sold at discounts and all sorts of things. That's what the big housing bubble was all about when everything started crashing around the 80s.
Well,
the allodial title thing that I was just saying, I mean, does that ring a bell or strike a chord, or what do you feel about that?
Yeah, it does. I think you're right on to something there that it's one of those things that when you get down to the idea where there are corporations, the USA Corporation that owns things that we don't even realize they own, and we are just serfs that are working the land for them. You're right on there, and I think it's fantastic that you're able to come on our show here at Night Dreams Talk Radio and educate our audience on what's going on right now. And I'm hoping here probably in the next at least half hour, we get in towards the end, we're going to come up with some ideas for people on what they can do to start, getting ready for the ability to hopefully make things better.
Well, I want to get into another thing that people need to do. And I don't want to scare anybody right now, but one thing I would do, because we don't know what's going to play out here in the next few months. It's so many weird things that's going on that has never gone on. It's all going on right now. But, I don't want to freak anybody out. I will say I've gotten, Michael, so many emails that my computer that I use for emails is totally locked up. I have gotten so many messages off of Messenger right now. My cell phone is totally locked up. That's how bad and how many people are responding here tonight. Now, I'm going to say this. So many weird things are going on. The economy could slip. And we're very close right now to another housing bubble burst right now. Homes aren't selling, everything is setting up right now. The stock market has gone down more than what the Great Depression was. So I'm really scared if things don't start turning around job-wise, because, people are going to start losing their jobs shortly. And, you can't keep economy going with everybody working at Burger King and McDonald's. Seriously. And I'm really worried that people aren't prepared for anything. And I'm not even talking about financially. I'm talking about the tornado we had here where I live a couple of weeks ago. We never have it. We got earth changes going on. And people don't want to face what's going on, and it's going way faster than people are expecting or thought it would go. So we got that. We got the earth could do a magnetic flip. We got all these weird things that can go on. We got, maybe scenario of a war down the road if things don't improve, because the leadership is not there right now. And I'm sorry to say that. People are going to get mad at me. But it's so many things, like I said earlier at the beginning of the show, China threatening to sink our aircraft carriers. Hey, what would happen if they even sunk a destroyer? I don't know. We would retaliate really fast. And what would happen? So, people aren't prepared. The stores only have enough food for, 2-3 days at the very most? So if our infrastructure failed, we would be so screwed. So I'm telling people right now, it's not crazy. I'm not trying to scare people, but you should at least have a week or two worth of food in your cupboards in your kitchen. Okay?
Yeah.
And we already know that people have been trying to break into our grid system, and they actually have been able to control it. The government doesn't like admitting it, but they have actually got in and controlled a few power stations in our country recently. So if they shut our grid down, okay, what's going to happen? So you better have some food. You better have some water, because if the electrical system goes down, the grid system goes, you're not going to turn your tap on and get water, are you? I can't get.
No.
I got a well. If my electrical system goes, what am I am screwed. I have no way to get water. So it would be smart to have some food, water. Okay, money, paper money. I would not trust paper money right now in the near future. I would.
Nope.
I would maybe look more at gold and silver, something that you can trade with. And the last thing I'm going to say is that they're really starting to clamp down on gun owners in our country.
Yeah.
And that's got me kind of concerned.
Yeah, everybody ought to have the right. Citizens might not have the right to own guns at a certain point, but living souls can do whatever they want. And if you label yourself as a citizen, then you're going to fall into the jurisdiction. Living souls don't fall into the jurisdiction. And if a cop comes and knocks on your door and wants to take your weapons away, you can remind him that you're a living soul and you don't fall into this jurisdiction. And what is he going to do then? Then he's going to break the law, and probably, they're going to strong arm you. Are you police officers really going to come knocking on our doors under the authority of the government and military? And
they could. They could. Very
weapons?
Well could, my friend.
It's terrible. I'm almost thinking it's time to abandon ship. At the end of April, I'm going to New Zealand to speak at the Flat Earth Conference, the Flat Earth Expo in Auckland, and I've been talking to Adrienne Morrison, who's coordinating the whole thing, and I told her, I was like, I might just stay there, honestly, because what we're talking about tonight is what is there to come back to here? We're not doing anything to save ourselves. What is the solution? Just almost abandon ship, or we have to coalesce as a species and turn the ship around.
Well, they won't even face it, okay? There's either UFOs or they're not UFOs, okay? The government, won't come out and totally deny that there isn't something. But you know what? Disclosure. They need to have disclosure, everything from UFOs to everything. And it's about time that they start being honest to you, me, Michael, and the guy down the street.
Yeah. Yep. And what's preventing disclosure? Quote, unquote, national security. Again, there's that term. There's that corporation posing as a government, and we just go, security, I guess then they can't tell us because national security. That's just a joke. It's a big joke. We ought to be standing and knocking on their front door going, no, give us the information, you guys. We're paying your salaries. We're paying for your wars. We're working for all your land, right? We need to know what's going on at this point, because you can't trust what we're hearing on the news and from the politicians.
Oh, come on.
We need to see the files. It's about time.
Well, Trump said all the news you hear is fake news. Of course, everything you hear out of Washington is fake news. Who do you supposed to believe, Ron?
I believe me, and I believe you. I believe Michael. I believe what resonates with me, and I'm starting to learn how to filter the BS out of what I think is the real information. And everything I'm studying now is whatever resonates with me as a living soul and adds to my freedom to live a joyful life is the only thing I can go by now. And I think the people are starting, or the souls of Earth are starting to realize that what's right and what's wrong, and what's being done to us is completely wrong, 100% through and through. So I believe now my own instinct and my own intuition and my ability to filter through all of the information and see what's right and what's wrong and develop a solution out of that.
But is that the reason why we have a record number of people leaving the United States the past year? Are they fed up?
It doesn't surprise me. I think so.
That has statistically been on the news. Now, again, we might not be able to believe what the news says, but they said, look, anyway, there's been more people leaving the United States the past year than ever in record numbers. Why are people leaving? Are they fed up with what's going on with Washington, D.C.? Are they fed up with the government in the whole? Are they tired of the economy? Are they tired of being lied to? Now, I'm going to change the subject.
Yeah.
I want right now, if any government official is listening, okay, Jimmy Carter, okay, Clinton, and all these people promised there would be disclosure about UFOs and aliens. I want somebody to keep their word.
Do you think we would get real, full, 100% truthful disclosure, or do you think that, I think they're preparing for a hologram fake alien invasion. You know, Ronald Reagan set it up a while ago when he made those comments back in the 80s about, Star Wars and coming from out there. In fact, you, Gary, I was listening to your show, I think it was last night or the night before, you were talking about when you were talking to Ronald Reagan, you used to talk to him and call him, and he was mentioning, those from out there.
Out there, and yes. Out there. Not down there or over there, out there. And that's a big difference, isn't it?
Right. But I think they've been setting the stage for an invasion like this. And this is where, now that we're done with the Third World War, which was the global war on terror, I think the space war is coming next. And Trump just set it up with the Space Command. So it looks like now they're setting the stage for a fake alien invasion and a disclosure in such a way where they're putting out the information that the way it might not be 100% truthful. I think there's going to be disclosure, but I think it's going to be disclosure, a scripted disclosure with the way that they want to word things and the picture that they want to paint for us, so that they've got us seeing it in a certain way and very likely not the truth. And so I think we're going to be learning a lot, and things are going to happen, but I don't think it's going to be the real truth.
That's a good way to declare martial law, too, is say that there's a invasion or possible invasion from out there. Even our vice president back a month ago was making a speech, when they were pushing the space, force, mentioned that we need a space force to protect us from outer space. He said that. So come on, are they trying to set us up for something? What do you think, Michael? You're into UFOs. Come on, I want to hear your feedback on this.
Well, I think both of you are correct, and I think Ronald is right on track here. I think that they are planning some kind of a Project Bluebeam kind of false flag attack from some alien source off planet. But I think what they're attempting to do is do a preemptive strike to the off-planet pressure to actually disclose the real reality of what's going on. So if they know something like that's coming down the road, and the way it's been happening last year with 2018, with all the strange little tidbits of disclosure that happened, it seems like the agenda has been pushed forward much quicker for some reason. But I think you're right. They need to get ahead of the spin. They need to control this issue when it comes out. And if they can precondition us that any kind of a disclosure is going to be a negative thing, and we need to protect ourselves from these, aliens that are, the ATIP program, the Advanced Threat Program that they called it, from the Tom DeLonge thing, and Louis Elizondo.